Hi there, Sandy Freshie here, back with another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. And if you like these videos, there's a place somewhere around here where you can subscribe to get notified when new ones are uploaded, or to like my page or my channel. So you're invited to do that as well. And if you are returning, thank you. Thank you for following me, supporting me, and watching my videos. So today we are talking about stress and the undefined throat center. I'm finally finishing a series of videos about stress and the undefined centers that I started several years ago. So I'll make sure that you get a link to that playlist somewhere around here, wherever you're watching this video. So stress in the undefined throat center in the human design chart. If you're looking at your human design chart and you have this center, this one that is third from the top, white or not colored in, that means that it is undefined and it is the throat center. So what this does is the throat center is the gearbox for all of the other centers. It's the center for expression and manifestation. So I always like to say that all roads lead to the throat. And when I read a human design chart, I'm kind of looking for what connects to the throat, if it's defined or not, if there are motorized centers that are connected to the throat. But with an undefined throat center, it's totally open to the outside influences, and the energy of the expression that is coming toward you from other people and outside energies will be filtered through those gates. If you have defined gates on your throat center, like this one has the gate 33, the gate of retreat on the throat center. So in a nutshell, when you have an undefined throat center, you have this potential to be very perceptive and wise about what needs to be said, when it needs to be said, how things are optimally expressed and manifested. And you are here to, in a certain sense, co-create and collaborate with others to get your expression out into the world and to get your manifestations up and out in concert with others. Of course, all of this happens in alignment with how you are following your strategy and listening to your inner authority. So where does the stress come in when you have an undefined throat center? It comes in when you are trying too hard to get attention. So let me tell you a little story about me in my 20s and my undefined, me when I was in my 20s and my undefined throat center. Long before I knew anything about human design, actually several years before human design even came onto the planet through Ra-Uru-Hu, I can distinctly recall being among a group of people, of my peers, and they were discussing something. I don't remember what it was. It was probably something about what we were going to do that evening, or whatever. Something I was probably not invited to as a projector, and these were not my people. I didn't know that at the time, but I can remember being in that group of people trying to get my point across, trying to interject my ideas. And I can remember the pain and the frustration of being talked over and being ignored. It was so painful and it was so dramatic that I actually pinched myself to see if I was real, because it was as though I was talking and I was a ghost in the room. That's a dramatic example of what happens when you have an undefined throat center and nobody is inviting you to speak. So if you've got an undefined throat center and this has ever happened to you, I'd love to hear your stories. Post them in the comments. This is how we heal from this, right? So years and years later, let's fast forward. Here we are. We know about our human design charts. We know we have an undefined throat center. So here's the general rule that I personally follow to keep that kind of stress and pain out of my reality. And that is, if no one is asking me for my opinion, if no one is inviting me to speak, there is nothing for me to say. And that frees me up. It frees my energy up to sit back and to watch and to wait and to assess what's going on, who's saying what, and to see if I'm actually going to be invited to express myself. Because I know, as someone with an undefined throat center, that when I express myself, when I'm invited to express myself, that expression is usually really brilliant. and it's the exact thing that whoever asks me to share what I have to say really needs to hear, and I'm saying it in the way that they need to hear it. Because that undefined throat center has this amazing capacity to take in outside energy, to take in the energy of what others are not expressing, their quality and their frequency of their throat center energy, and I can take it in, and I amplify it. Hopefully it's not distorted, because I've sat back, I've watched, I've gotten the invitation, and I'm able to, with this throat center, the throat center is able to express exactly what that person needs to hear in the way they need to hear it, because it's actually their frequency. How amazing and magical is that? So there is no need to push with an undefined throat center, because you don't want to waste this precious energy that you have within you, and you don't want to in a certain way cast your pearls before swine. And maybe you've heard that before in the human design realm, but it's really true. When you have an undefined throat center, you have potentially a lot to say, and you don't want to waste what you have to say on people who are not really going to get it. The throat center is also the home of the thyroid gland, and the thyroid gland kind of governs the other systems in the body. So when you are pushing really hard to try and get your point across, when you, let's say you're in business and you're pushing with these manifestor-like marketing techniques to get yourself out there, when you are pushing really hard to make something happen in your life, and you're not doing it in alignment with your strategy and authority, it can burn your throat, your thyroid gland out eventually, and that will affect the health in your entire body. So I don't want to see you burn yourself out just because you are trying to be seen and heard by the wrong people at the wrong time. So take very, very good care of your throat center, and allow yourself that power to sit back in your own knowing, so that you're ready for the time when you can express the brilliance that you have to express from your undefined throat. So that's it for today. Thank you so much, and until the next time, be well.